Hi, I'm Jumpstart, and basically we're going to talk about something very important. How does Ukraine really feed the planet? Do you know, Ukraine is highly underrated when it comes to its contribution to providing food for humans. Ukraine has been the geopolitical flashpoint for close to a year now. Ukraine's westward drift since independence has been countered by the sometimes violent tug of Russia, felt most recently with Putin's full-scale invasion. And it is affecting the food supply to many nations which depend hugely on Ukraine. Ukraine alone provides 9% of all the wheat traded in the world. The agricultural yields are exported by cargo ships across the Black Sea to the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Africa. Egypt alone consumes 21 million tons of wheat per year, and 62% of that wheat is imported from abroad. And the majority of the imports come from Ukraine. And there are other countries like Turkey, Lebanon among the highest importers of wheat. And how else is Ukraine a powerhouse when it comes to agriculture? After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Ukraine's relationship with Russia has undergone periods of ties, tensions, and outright hostility. In the early 1990s, Ukraine's policy was dominated by aspirations to ensure its sovereignty and independence, followed by a foreign policy that balanced cooperation with the European Union, Russia, and other powerful polities. Relations with Russia and Ukraine became hostile after 2014 Ukrainian Revolution, also known as the Revolution of Dignity, where a brutal government crackdown on the demonstrators led to overthrow of a pro-Russia president. It was followed by Russia's annexation of Crimea from Ukraine and Russia's backing for the separatist fighters of the Donetsk People's Republic and Luhansk People's Republic, both of which are breakaway puppet Kasi state proclaimed within the territory of Ukraine. Numerous bilateral agreements have been terminated and economic ties severed. Throughout 2021 and 2022, a Russian military buildup on the border of Ukraine escalated tensions between the two countries and strained their bilateral relations. And the war eventually broke out. Ukraine broke diplomatic relations with Moscow in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Streets bearing the names of Russian figures and monuments symbolizing Russian and Ukrainian friendship were removed from various locations across Ukraine. But exactly how important is Ukraine? This can be determined by the role Ukraine plays in terms of agriculture. How is Ukraine a powerhouse in agriculture? It was a complete chalk guy moment for me when I came to know about these cool facts. More than 55% of Ukraine's land area is arable land. Agriculture provides employment for 14% of Ukraine's population. Agricultural products are Ukraine's most important exports. In 2021, they totaled $27.8 billion, accounting for 41% of the country's $68 billion in overall exports. Ukraine ranks #1 in global production of sunflower, 4th in barley, 6th in corn, and 7th in wheat. Ukraine's role in feeding the planet. Ukraine alone provides 9% of all the wheat traded in the world. The agricultural yields are exported by cargo ships across the Black Sea to the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Africa. Egypt alone consumes 21 million tons of wheat per year. 62% of that wheat is imported from abroad, and majority of the imports come from Ukraine. And there are other countries like Turkey, Lebanon, among the highest importers of wheat. But all this is changing due to Russia's repeated onslaught. Almost 1/3 of Ukraine's farmland is under Russian military occupation. It has been bombed so severely that it is considered not safe enough for farming. Russia has captured Ukraine's Black Sea ports too, and has absolutely crippled Ukraine's export of the existing crops across the Black Sea. Basically, Ukraine is a vital country when it comes to agriculture and providing food to most of the countries which are not agriculture friendly. And the ongoing war has to stop ASAP so we don't see an unnecessary apocalyptic famine in Ukraine and various countries which are dependent on it. Let us know in the comments below.